possibly the greatest playoff game ever played. You think
Yeah,
Buffalo at Jacksonville?
yeah. I mean, it's up there.
That was brutal to watch. That was the I like games like that just because they're fun and they're like quirky and you never know what's gonna happen. But like those are just not good football teams.
No, no. Jaguars couldn't even cover 9. Bill Simmons had a great tweet. He tweeted out like, "The Bills just only scored 3 points, and I still lost a bet for the Jaguars."
Hmm.
Like I don't know. It's just the Jaguars are really bad, and like I said, I think I was telling you on the phone after the game that like I was like going into it like, okay, Blake Bortles is like really bad. Blake Bortles is really bad,
And
and
you
he
just
was
didn't know.
just so much worse than I could have imagined. And like I guess it was really windy,
Yeah,
so
at least in the
I
first
mean,
half, it started to die down as the game ended.
I guess some percentage of those throws, like overthrows, might have been like, a win. Like if you're lobbing the ball, like you might be affected by the win. So maybe he looked a little bit worse than he usually looks. But yeah, I mean, the guy had more rushing yards than he had passing yards.
Yeah, I've never seen a quarterback. Maybe not since the days of Otto Graham and the wing T offense have I seen a quarterback run for more yards than he's thrown for and
Right,
win a game, mind you. Um,
right.
and it's not like this was like an option offense. You know what I mean? Like it was just a couple scrambles, and he
Yep,
threw because he only threw for 87 yards, and he still won
yep.
the game, which is insane. Um, yeah, it's funny. It's like you said, like how you expected Bortles to be bad, and like you knew he was bad, and you were saying he's bad, he's bad, he's bad, he's bad, he's bad. And I feel like everyone like thinks Blake Bortles is bad, but like a lot of people that maybe don't watch the Jaguars or like haven't watched the Jaguars really, maybe they only see a couple highlights. Um, like you just have to sit down and kind of watch even just a couple drives of Blake
Yeah.
Bortles to really get an appreciation for how horrendous of a quarterback he is. His footwork is atrocious. I've never seen a quarterback with like less disciplined footwork. His throws go all over the place because he's not setting his feet. He's like one game he's like or like one pass he's at like his leg is back a little bit. Then one pass his legs
Yeah.
forward a little bit, like his back leg. You know what I mean? So it's just like he doesn't really know how to throw a ball. I think.
And there were a couple times where like he took off running before I think he even assessed like whether any of his receivers were open because they'd show like up the field as he started running and
I
you'd see
know.
like a guy breaking away and you were like, oh yeah, like it's cool that he just ran for 15 yards, but he could have thrown like a 35-yard touchdown pass or whatever, like a 65-yard touchdown pass. Like it's just
Hmm.
like, oh my gosh, this is just ridiculous. And that's the one thing I don't miss about like we've always had Brady, we've never had a mobile quarterback. Is like sometimes they make those decisions like, oh, I'm gonna run, and it's like, well, is everybody covered? Running should be your absolute last worst case scenario, I'm gonna run. But it felt like Bortles was just like, oh, I got a few yards rushing, I'm just gonna run the ball in the second
Hmm.
half. So yeah, it was an atrocious game.
Hmm.
Jaguars couldn't even fucking cover 9, but I hope that they beat up Big Ben next week because I think that defense is actually good. Like I
Yeah.
actually believe in that defense.
Yeah. That defense is that defense is legit. I mean, we talked a lot about like Calais Campbell um, and some other guys last week, like Jalen Ramsey. But like, man, just like down like Telvin Smith is nasty. Miles Jack is nasty. Barry Church, a guy that they brought over from Dallas, I believe this
Yeah,
offseason. Yeah, because they let Jonathan Cyprian go and they brought in Barry Church. Barry Church was a guy that I always really liked when he played in Dallas. I thought he's a smart player. He's always that's what I want to see out of my safety. I want to see my safety always around the ball. Like I want my safety to be involved. I don't want my safety sitting over the top making catches or tackles 25 yards down the field. Yeah, like I want my guy involved disrupting stuff, and that's what Barry Church does. And like the Marcel Darius revenge game, um, little little shot in there too. But on we know what we know about Jacksonville, right? We know their defense is good, their offense is terrible. Leonard Fournette just didn't look good. I know he struggled with injury down the stretch, and Buffalo is a pretty good defense themselves. But on the flip side, I was really disappointed in my guy Tyrod Taylor. I thought LaShawn McCoy put in a really gutsy performance, and Tyrod just like I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the wind or if he's just not a good quarterback because there were so many throws that he missed. I mean, you and I were texting at I think like the first half of the game, like just how many receivers he was missing. Like
Right.
like not only missing like making an inaccurate throw, but probably even worse is just making the wrong decision.
Exactly.
Right. So like throwing to a check down when you have a guy breaking open down the field.
Yeah.
Forcing it into triple coverage when you have a check down open, or like throwing to the wrong shoulder, like that kind of stuff. Like just the little things that make a guy an NFL quarterback. And then, when push came to shove, down the stretch, had a chance to redeem himself. Not going to knock a guy for getting injured, but kind of put himself into a position to get body slammed and got knocked out of the game. And then Nathan Peterman comes in as the most uncoordinated fourth down conversion that I've ever seen, where he walks around and stumbles and fumbles the ball out of bounds for a first down and then throws a pick. And that's ball game. All right, so it was disappointing. But, I mean, the Bills and the Jags are who we thought they were.
Yeah, exactly. How disappointing did that have to be when Taylor goes out with the injury and you're a Bills fan and you realize that it's all come down to Nathan Peterman? Like, just couldn't. I mean, we joked about it earlier that, like, Nathan Peterman has literally been on the field for, like, 15 minutes and has thrown 6 interceptions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he played for a half, and then he played for half of one series, and he's thrown
the
6
pick
interceptions.
that he threw was so bad, even in that Jaguars game.
Did you think it was? Because it was kind of I mean, it was a bad throw. Like the guy was somewhat open, and he threw it like it was a comeback route, and he threw it to his inside shoulder instead of his outside shoulder, and that let the guy come in and collide with him. I thought it was pass interference, but then the ball tips into the air, and Jalen Collins dives and picks it up off the ground.
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, I mean, I think they're.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
think
a
the
Jalen
Jaguars.
Collins. Yeah, Jalen Ramsey. My bad.
Yeah. No, that's all right. I think the Jaguars, have a legitimate defense. I mean, as a Pats fan, and, we joke about they're going to throttle Tennessee, you still got to play the game. You still got to show up. It's still going to be a tough game, and hopefully if we get through that one, then you're probably playing the Steelers next week. But how nice it would be if the Jaguars could beat up Big Ben a little bit and, get to him and, make him pay. But also the Steelers have the best backup in the NFL. So
who's that?
The former Oklahoma Sooner. Oh my gosh!
Landry
Jones.
Jones.
Landry Jones.
Right,
yeah, the best backup in the NFL.
Yeah, now that Jimmy G's not a backup.
They've always now that Charlie Batch isn't a backup.
Charlie Whitehurst.
Remember they had Charlie Batch forever.
Yeah. I think he was their backup for 15 years.
Yeah, he went out and they were like, "Oh, we gotta draft a backup quarterback."
Mm-hmm.
So they went out and they got Landry Jones, the best backup quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.